Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Self Development. In this channel, we talk about spirituality, self development, law of attraction, and all the good positive vibes. Today, I want to talk about letting go and letting go of the neediness, the attachment, and anything that doesn't really serve us. So, I really want you to take a note of this video. I would be sharing a lot of juicy tips and tricks that you can apply, and you will see great results. So, watch it till the end. Um, I will be sharing 5 secrets of letting go. And when you apply the secrets, when you do these letting go thing that I'm going to talk in this video, you will be attracting more love, more positivity, more opportunities in your life. So the less attached you are, the more attractive you become. Hear this again. The less attached you are to things, the more attractive you are. This attractive energy is really, really appealing. And what that means is basically you stay in your own body, you stay true to who you are, you stay in your own frame. So you basically, and that's a beautiful thing. And that's an attractive energy that can attract like minded people back in your life. So what that means is you don't need anyone else's approval. You don't need someone else's validation. You don't need or you don't care if someone points and doesn't like your Instagram posts. Uh, Basically, you don't care if someone doesn't text you back, or you don't care if you don't approve other people's. You don't live for approval. You don't live to get validation from other people. That's an attractive energy, and that's where you want to be, and you want to let go of the labels, the attachment, and all that stuff. Uh, this letting go and this letting go of the neediness just as a transformation. It transform your life by when you apply these changes. Uh, you basically so the first is killing the neediness. So you don't care what other people think about you whatsoever. Just let go of the concept that what others think, how they perceive you. Be aware of your beliefs, what your values are, what you're believing, and who you truly are in your core system. So when you kill the neediness, when killing the neediness is like you're no longer staying in a lack mindset. Uh, because sometimes we tend to attract what we feel familiar with, and that's why you might attract unemotional like unemotional people or emotionally immature people in your life. That is because that is how you are showing in your reality, and that's how you're attracting back such people. So become very aware of your beliefs and your values, uh and how you were. I think you have to go back to time how you were raised as a kid. So maybe as a kid, when I say killing the neediness, that's our first one. um Maybe you were as a child very in need of a parent figure to give you validation, to validate your emotion, and to fulfill a need of yours. So if you grew up in an environment where your emotions were neglected, uh, then or you grew up with a parent figure who themselves they were emotionally immature. They didn't know how to self-regulate, how to express their emotions. They were shut off, or they were just doing the best they could, basically. or not just even like a parent figure. I don't want to blame the parents. It's not about that, but it could be that you grew up in an abusive environment, or you were bullied as a kid. Whatever your situation and your story is, that just creates like emotional immaturity. So going back to that example, if you grew up in such environment, then what happens is that you create an internal separation. What that means is that as an adult, you disassociate as an adult. What that would look like is you basically there's always the internal separation between how you show up, how you show up in front of others, like you're yourself and not yourself. I mean, you're present, you act normal, but then inside of you, subconsciously, uh, there are like wounds that makes you unworthy, that makes you not trusting people, that makes you not lovable, not likable. But those parts you have hidden basically. So disassociation could look like chronic daydreaming, for instance, spacing out. Physically, you're there, but emotionally and mentally, you're somewhere else. You feel numb, so you don't know your emotions, what you're feeling, whether you're enjoying, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether you're dissatisfied. You don't know, you can't label your emotions, and you don't know how to express those emotions, and that could be really difficult. That could be really challenging when you're in a relationship, because that will have a negative impact on your relationships. Um, so emotional disconnection from a parent figure causes us a lack of childhood memories as well. So if you can't remember like any childhood events or memories growing up, or childhood stories, that's because like you weren't fully present in that moment. You were experiencing this association. Like I said, you're spaced out. You weren't fully physically present. And when that happens, then you lack childhood memories. You can't remember uh what happened like back in like when you were a kid, 5 years old, 6 years old, or even 13 years old. You can't really like, you might have feelings of those events, but you can't really like remember the details of those memories. So as a child now, you will lack emotional development, and emotional development is really important. Why? Because if we're emotionally developed, then we learn to identify our emotions. A, we can regulate those emotions. B, and we can communicate our emotions clearly. C. So these three, like identifying, regulating it, communicating our emotions. If we are not emotionally developed, then we lack these three things, and that could negatively affect our relationships. Um, yeah, and the result of all this, if we grew up with an emotionally immature parent, or someone who didn't meet our emotional needs, who were attuned to our emotions, then we are emotionally immature as an adult. We're unable to know what we feel and how to express it. That's the result of that. So yeah, so that's what it is, which is why it's important to letting go of the neediness of being needy, being because if we are needy in that space, then we it just keeps us in a state of lack, which is not a good state to be in. um, and it has its own consequences. As I mentioned, we just then attract what we feel familiar with. We attract emotionally immature people. We attract people who are not attuned to their emotions, who are unavailable emotionally for us, and then that we know that's not a healthy relationship to be in. What we want as an adult for ourselves, and in the relationships that we want to be in, to be with people who are emotionally available, who are emotionally mature, who can understand their emotions and the emotions of others, and who can always like uh express those emotions. That's very healthy. That's why we say immature emotion. Immature emotions are emotional availability and not being available for someone emotionally. This is a very interesting concept. I want you to like dig deep into it on your own as well if you really want to like understand what that means. So that's one secret of letting go, killing the neediness, seeking attention and affection from others. No, not important. Just let it go. You are worthy. You are whole as a person. You don't need someone else's validation. Completely let it go. And the second is abandonment. This is like specifically true for empaths, for those of us that we act like we are very attuned to other people's emotions. Like we don't know what we're feeling, but we can read other people's facial expression and their tone of voice. Uh, Even we care less about the speech, about the like what they're saying to us, but we pay more attention to their emotions and to their tone of voice, and that's very interesting as well because now we we're so attuned to someone else's emotions that we might make it's just like very draining energy because we constantly now like judging them for what they say one thing but they mean something else. uh, and that could like affect our life as well in a negative way. So anyways, coming back to abandonment, what I mean by that is uh, as an empath you might find yourself saying yes a lot to other people's wants and instead of learning to say no. So stop sacrificing yourself for others is what I'm trying to say. Don't put yourself first. Don't abandon yourself just to make someone else happy. uh, Abandonment could also come up as like people pleasing because you want to, if you are people pleasing someone else, then you are in a way telling yourself that okay, if I show up for this person, if I say yes, if I please them, everyone, if I keep everyone happy in my life, then no one will reject me, no one will leave me. That's not true. um you don't want that. So if you are someone like that, stop that right now. You can't please everyone and you cannot abandon yourself and the expense of like making someone else happy. um yeah, and then you have to, the third is just let it go. Accept that people change, consequences like circumstances change, we as a people change, we grow, we evolve, and that's a good thing. Being attached to something for too long causes us pain. So instead of that, just like be and enjoy the present moment. Be live in the present, be in the present, and accept people for if they're changing. Like change is necessary too. Like sometimes we might not like it if someone is changing, whether it's someone, our loved one, or our spouse, or family member, or anyone, our friends, or even us. We don't like it when something changes. It just like triggers us. It might just like not, because we're so used to the old ways. But welcome change, accept change, because that's the reality. And especially, you don't want to hurt yourself. So if you're too attached to the outcome, if you're too attached to someone, uh, it will, it's not worth it. It's just going to cause you pain. And then the last one is forgiveness. Like that's the one of the secrets to forgive people who have hurt you. I know it's easier said than done, but you have to forgive people for yourself. That's just like you're freeing yourself of the hurt. You're freeing yourself of the control that the other person has on you. Uh, Forgive yourself, yeah. And know your worth, know that you're worthy, and then see the change. I also want to end this that end the video with saying that being needy just kills when we're building relationships with others. Let go of the need to be liked and accepted, and just know that I am worthy, you're worthy, we're all worthy. Yeah, this was just that I wanted to like quickly jump in and create this video. I hope uh it resonated with some of you guys. If it did, just thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and comment in the comments below if you're an empath, or if you are uh if you have experienced any of these five things or four things that I talked about, and how you've dealt with it. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope this was helpful for some of you guys. Take care, and until next time, goodbye.